So we're gonna go over some points of obviously the running slow. It was hard for me to get to the point to run slow. So it's July 11th. This is the furthest I've ever run ever. 7.12 kilometers and 33 minutes. 7.12 kilometers. It's Sunday, July 25th. Just ran my first half marathon in an hour 28, 21.1 kilometers at a pace of 4:39. I think I went too fast off the start, and then I got comfortable at a pace of like 4:25 to 4:35, and then I just slowed down after that. After the hour 10 mark, the last 20 minutes was probably the hardest. Especially when I was starting out, because I didn't want to run slow. I want to run fast, and I was only running fast. I was solely running hard and running like my heart rate was 175, 180. I had no clue what I was doing. I started running in June 2021. And I was just doing hard runs. I started to get shin splints, and then I started to kind of do slower-ish runs, but still run fast. And then I did a marathon 3 months later. So it's 1 o'clock. Me and Woody just finished the marathon. 2-minute difference, 4 and 5 in our age division. But we can't even walk right now, so it was a good day. We completed it.
Potential Cowboys tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yep, see you there. Just to cut in here, again, we're doing another hacks giveaway. All you have to comment is 200K subs 2023. Logan Burns, you won last week. I've sent you a DM. We're going to send you a hat. But with that being said, let's get back to the video. A 3-hour 38 marathon, and I had no clue what I was doing. So I feel like that's why I kind of did a faster marathon for my first one, and then after that I got into Ironman training, and then learned about training in zones, learning about training in your heart rate, zone 2 to 5, and zone 2 to 5 I'd highly recommend to look into, but we're gonna get into how we can run slow to run fast. So I think the main point, number 1, would be the zone 2 heart rate is running slow in zone 2. I'm just about to go for a zone 2 run, around a 10K run at like a 6 to 5:30 minute per kilometer pace. But zone 2 for me is 125 beats per minute to 138 beats per minute. So when I'm going out for a zone 2 run, the purpose of a zone 2 run is to work on our endurance. Zone 2 is endurance work, zone 3 is tempo work, zone 4 is threshold, and zone 5 is above threshold. So in zone 2, we're working on our endurance work. We're not pushing it. It's like a conversational pace. Zone 2, I've always been told, and I always do runs with my buddies or hacks athletes in zone 2, and we can have a very easy conversation in zone 2. It's almost like it's like a fast walk. You should be able to talk to the person, and when you're just getting started, even if your heart rate's like 155 and you think you're going slow, go slower. Go 125 to around 140. Everyone obviously has a different heart and different heart rate zones, but generally it's around 120 to 140 beats per minute. And on your Garmin watch, it'll say, I run, and then I set up my settings so that, here, I'll just get it here. So now when I go to a run, it's like this. It's this setup. Here, I'll just start it. So it's this setup. Okay, this cannot focus. On the top, it has heart rate. It has distance, timer, and pace. And I usually focus all of my workouts on my heart rate, especially the longer zones coming out from a race, and just training, because zone 2 is the most effective for your aerobic. It's most effective for our endurance work. because we're working on our heart rate. Our heart rate's getting the work done, and we just need to get our heart rate used to it. And again, running in zone 2, it helps your body a ton because you're not pushing it to the max. When we're doing zone 2 work, and we do like a 8K or 10K or however long it is, it doesn't matter how long it is, we're most likely gonna feel good after, so then we can do the workout tomorrow. But if we're doing zone 4s or zone 5s like I was doing when I first started out running, I couldn't run the next day. Why could I not run the next day? Because my body was put under so much stress. It was my threshold work. It was my tempo work. It was my above threshold work. But now in zone 2, it's a lot easier to actually get the work done because you're not doing as much hard, intense work on your body. Running is very hard on your body. Running is very hard on our bodies, especially in zone 4 and zone 5. I only do zone 4, maybe touching zone 5 in a race, like a 70.3, not an Ironman at all, not a marathon. It would not be in zone 5 on a marathon, just because in zone 4 and zone 5, we're working and we're touching on a lot of our glucose stores and a lot of our carbohydrate stores. And why can we not do that for a long period of time? It's because our body doesn't hold that amount of glucose stores to hold that threshold for so long. But in zone 2 and zone 3, our body can hold it for longer because of it's our fat burning efficiency. It's not as much as our glucose stores. That's leading me into the second point, is endurance work. So zone 2 is obviously a lot of endurance work. It's working on running for a longer period of time. It's not so much as a threshold or tempo work, and it is kind of boring. It is fully boring a lot of the times because a lot of the buddies and people that are joining hacks and a lot of new runners, they don't want to run slow because they think if I'm running slow, I'm not going to get faster. But I think this just leads along the lines of if you don't go slow, you're not going to go fast. And it's crazy because a lot of Ironman lessons and a lot of Ironman rules correlates directly to life. I learned this in business and my development of myself in hacks, and just financially, the growth of my social media accounts, the growth of YouTube, the growth of everything. If you don't go slow, you can't go fast. So how does that work in running, and how does that correlate to the day? In running, if we don't work on our zone 2, we're not going to be able to push a zone 4 pace fast for a longer period of time down the line or at the race. Because if we're only going fast, we're not working our zone 2 zone. We're not working on our endurance. We're not working on going long. We're just working on our tempo and threshold work. But that correlates to life because in a day-to-day scenario, if we can't be patient and appreciate where we are right now and take it maybe a bit slower than we're expected that we'd like it to do, then we won't make it further because we're rushing it, we're forcing stuff. And that's something I've learned a ton, is if I don't force anything and just let it come naturally, a lot more stuff works out. So when I was starting this entrepreneur journey and building these businesses right after hockey, I was forcing stuff. I was forcing everything. I was going really fast. I wasn't stopping. I wasn't being patient. I wasn't being slow with it. And then I took stuff a lot slower. I tried to be a lot more present than just rushing stuff. And a lot more stuff started to work out. I went to Sweden. I went to Austin. I did some Ironmans. I did good at the Ironmans. I'm building hacks. We have 50 plus athletes now in less than 7 months. And it's really cool to see that the slower you go, the faster you can go. Just like running, just like we're talking about here. So that was a couple questions about how to run slow to run fast. It's hard. It's hard to run slow because you want to push it. And it's tough mentally because if you ran faster yesterday and you run slower today, you think you're getting worse. But again, if you can't go slow, you can't go fast eventually. And I like to say that if we're training today and we have a race in 3 months, we don't want to peak today. This is what I tell all my athletes. That's what we talk about on a lot of our Sunday calls. And we agree that we don't want to peak tomorrow. We don't want to peak the next day. We're training for a race. If you're training for a marathon, an Ironman 70.3, we want to peak on race day. We don't want to peak today, and we want to take each day brick by brick by brick by brick, just stacking days, stacking consistency, and just seeing where it goes and not forcing anything, just like I was saying. So today, if you're watching this, whatever, today for myself, I have a workout. I have a 10K run at a zone 2 pace. I'm doing 5K at a 6 minute per kilometer pace, 3K at a 5:30 minute per kilometer pace, and then 2K at a 6 minute per kilometer pace. Can I go faster than that? 100%. Do I want to? Yes. Do I want to mid-run and just say, I don't want to do these 5:30s, I want to do a 4:15 or whatever? Yes, I do. Obviously, I want to. And that's why we have the tempo workouts once a week, just to really touch on that. But it is mentally hard to run slow and just accept that I can't run fast every single day. But yeah. And now I'm going to answer random questions I get about running, because I think the most common questions I get are about running, because there's a lot of content out there for lifting and stuff, but not a ton of content for running. So I'll just go down the list. Is running good for me? Yes. I would say running's good for you if you let it be good for you. I think it teaches you a lot about your mind and your mindset, and not holding you back from anything. For example, when I started running, I always told myself to stop when it got hard. And then I kind of got over that barrier. How did I do that? I imagined my future self behind me, like an imaginary me running behind me. And if I stopped, that imaginary self would run past me. So like my best self would be running past me, and then I just kept thinking that in my head. So then I just didn't stop. And now when runs today, it just doesn't come to my head anymore, because I broke that habit of not stopping. How can I start running? Grab your shoes, go outside and run. It's not going to be easy the first couple of times you run. It won't. It'll suck, because your body's not used to running. Your body's used to walking, and if you just lift weights, it's just going to be used to lifting weights. But if you just start running, it's gonna most likely hurt. You'll probably get shin splints. Your feet will probably hurt, because you'll learn. You'll get better. You don't know what shoes will work for you. You don't know what paces you're going at. But each run you run, you're going to learn more about yourself, more about running, more about your feet, more about your body. And yeah. What gear do I need to start running? Shoes. Don't look too much into it. I get a ton of questions for beginner runnings, for runners that are just starting. And they ask so many questions about electrolytes, about protein, about fueling, about this and that. And I'd say take it slow. Just go for a run, go for 2K, 3K, 1K, 2 minutes. It doesn't matter, because each time that you run, you will get better, you'll learn more, and then you'll learn more about fueling and everything. But I'd say you just really need shoes. How often should I run? You should run often enough that you can run the next day efficiently. But that's not, like, I don't know what race you're doing. I don't know if you're doing an Ironman, a marathon, a 10K, a sprint triathlon, if you're just doing this for fun. So this is why when you apply to Hacks, I contact you, and we get in depth about your previous routine, your previous schedule, and then we see how we can work forward and make you a better and more efficient runner and lifter or marathon athlete or Ironman athlete. Is running hard? You can make it hard on yourself. Yes, you can make it hard on yourself. Is it always hard? No. Does running ever get easier? Yes, it does. Do I need to warm up before running? I mean, I would suggest yes. You don't have to. You don't have to. If you want injuries, if you want your body to disintegrate faster, you don't need to warm up. But for my advice, I would say warm up. Do I warm up before every run? I suck at it. I need to get better at it. I just made like a PDF for all Hacks athletes, so we're looking at it every run. It's inside the Hacks app. If you're watching this, it's probably in your profile. Do I need to stretch after running? Again, you don't have to, but I would suggest it. Do runners need to strength train? Yes. What is speed work? Speed work is working on different zones. It's working on, like I was saying, zone 4, zone 5, zone 3, tempo, threshold, above threshold. This is working different systems in your body, different muscles. So then you're working more systems. Instead of just aerobic, you're doing now anaerobic work. What is cross training? Cross training is doing different types of training, like biking, cycling, biking, swimming, hiking, walking, tennis, rock climbing, badminton, pickleball. How can I run faster? Run slower and be consistent and follow a plan, a Hacks plan. If you want to apply to Hacks, link below. I'll be in contact with you. What are hill sprints? It's when there's a hill and you run up it. What are tempo runs? Tempo runs is when you're running at a certain tempo and you have certain speeds to run at. So one workout we give to a lot of athletes is like 2-3K warm up, zone 2, and then rotating 1 kilometer at a time. Zone 3, zone 4, zone 3, zone 4, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, zone 2. Just random speeds throughout the actual workout. Does running build muscle? It can build muscle if you fuel properly and if you refuel your body. Because when running's hard on your body, we're burning a lot of calories, we're working a lot of muscles, and if we're not refueling ourselves with proteins, fats, carbs, electrolytes, it can break down the muscle, but if we actually refuel it properly, yes, we can. What should I eat before a run? Okay, this is different for everybody. It's different for me, it's different than you, it's different from Eliud Kipchoge, it's different from Nick Barrer, whoever. But what I say is look at your workout and see what workout you're doing. If it's a higher tempo workout, zone 4, zone 5, you're going to be working more of your glucose stores and your carbohydrates. So eat more carbs before. And electrolytes, same with the zone 2 runs. It's pretty much what you kind of have available to you. If money's not an issue, I would say eat an hour and a half before with electrolytes, and just feel what's right for you. Because in hockey, I like to eat 3 hours before the game. Some people like to eat 2 hours before the game. Some people don't like to eat. And I think it's just looking at what works for you and trying out different things, testing different things out until you find something that you like. What do I do if I get cramps when I run? So first off, you're probably getting cramps because you don't have enough electrolytes in your body. You haven't replenished your sodium intake. That's why I take electrolyte tabs for my races and when I sweat a lot. But if you do get cramps when you run, it's hard to get rid of them. It's very hard to get rid of them. And if you're just doing a training session, I would say just kind of walk until it's gone. But if you're in a race, I just push through it because, I mean, you're in a race. But again, it can do more damage than good to just finish. So it's definitely a mindset preference and what you kind of want to do with the run. What's a good 5K time? I'd say anything under like 30 minutes is a solid time, and then 25 minutes is good, and then under 20 minutes is really good, and then under that is like really fast. But this is a thing I get about running when a lot of people ask me about, am I a fast runner? Is this time good? Is this time good? I don't know how long you've been training. I don't know what your background's like athletically, because you can compare. And when you compare to someone that's fast, when I compare to someone that's does like a 15-minute 5K PR, do I feel good? No, but I'm not. But that's when I'm comparing myself to them. How long have I been running? Almost 2 years. How long have they been running? That was their sport growing up. So we can't compare to that person. We just have to compare ourselves to the person we were yesterday, the day before, and then look at, okay, why are we here and where can we go next? Because if I'm comparing to you and you have been running for 15 years, there's just no comparison. It's not relevant to compare each other for our times right now. It's relevant to compare myself for myself and yourself from yourself. That's what I get when people say, oh, what's a good time for that? And then again, we're giving these hats, or no, we're dropping these hats on April 30th, Hacks Athletic Club. They're going live on hacksapparel.com. I wear these all day long. I'm honestly surprised at how good of quality these are, because I mean, I've never seen, like, you can see the holes through it in the sun. And when you sweat and when you're drenched, you can wear it in a pool, you can wear it kind of wherever you want. And like, you can just scrunch it up and then take it out. It still looks solid. You can still wear it. So yeah, these drop April 30th. We don't have a lot in stock, but we do definitely want to give everyone a chance to get them, especially to support myself, support Hacks, support the athletes at Hacks, and just rep the brand. If you're not with Hacks, if you're not training with us, that's okay. Just support Hacks. Wear it. Let's get the word around. Wear it as much as we can to the gym, and just share it on our stories and just spread the word of Hacks, because I know it's going to be huge. It's already growing at a really fast rate, and I just know it's going to be big, and want to cherish the people within it. And when I say, like, we within Hacks, you are a part of Hacks. You know what Hacks is. You know the basis behind it. Hacks Athletic Club, fitness, family, and growth. So we are a part of this. We are a part of Hacks. It's not just me. We are a part of Hacks. We are training together. We have different goals. We have different things in mind for what we want to do with our athletic abilities, what we're training for, Ironman, marathon, building, bodybuilding, whatever. But we're a part of Hacks, and we are going to make this big and just spread the community and spread the positivity around fitness, family, and growth. So with that being said, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment 200K subs in 2023 to enter to get one of these for free. And yeah, the winners will be announced on Sunday. And we just got the last week's winner, Logan Burns. But with that being said, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.